Hey, welcome to the 21st episode of the Ectolibrium Devlog. So this week, just going to talk a little bit about the plans for the April auxiliary release, what we're focusing on there and why, and where that's at so far. So we had a couple of features already planned on the roadmap, and those are still on the list. We're hoping to get those out in April. In addition to those, we're also adding in some features in response to both criticism and positive feedback that we received on the first build. So, um, in terms of criticism, some people didn't like the graphics where they're at right now, and a lot of it is pretty placeholder. So we're improving the visuals across the board. We're adding higher poly assets, better lighting, particle effects, volumetric fog, and then a bunch of stuff from the Unity post-processing stack, which should give the game a much clearer visual style and make it a little more appealing to look at. That was all stuff that we had intended to save kind of toward the for later in development. In the last year, we wanted to spend some time polishing the visuals, but it actually turns out to be pretty easy to improve the quality of visuals significantly, and we think we can start setting a higher standard earlier in development, and hopefully that will make you guys happy and draw some more people into playing this. So we've already made pretty significant improvements to the first level of the game, and we're developing a workflow right now which should let us propagate those changes throughout the rest of the game pretty quickly. So I'll show you the first level at the end of this video, where it's at currently. But first you have to get through the rest of these bullet points with me. We're improving the gameplay in a number of ways. One of the complaints right now that it was too straightforward getting from point A to point B in the game environments. They want more of a circuitous route, so we're going to force more exploration and put some more gates in front of the player to kind of obstruct your progress. So basically, that translates to longer levels. There are a few levels in the game right now that are significantly longer than others, but we want to bring all of them up to somewhere around the longest levels currently, and just make that experience a little deeper. We're also going to add, so this is a feature that we planned before, but it ties into some of the criticism we received. We wanted to add the grotto, which is going to be this garden environment that you unlock. There's this character, for those of you that have played through the first episode, there's a character introduced at the end, sort of a giant fungus creature. And that character's home is the grotto, and you're going to be able to gather plants and animals from the environment and bring them back there to grow them and harvest gameplay benefits for yourself. So that's that's a big feature. That's kind of the main course for this auxiliary release. But I think a lot of the incidental gain from adding that feature is going to be incentivizing exploration in the environments and survival. So if the way it works right now is if you've gathered these resources in the environment by exploring and you die, you'll lose the resources that you gathered. So there's a extra cost to death, which was another complaint that people had. So there's both the incentive there to look around and find resources to bring back to the garden, and the incentive to survive, and then also more meaning in your points, because the points that you get through playing these levels, you can then spend in the grotto to improve the growth rates of your creatures. So I'll obviously do a more thorough explanation of that at some point coming here soon, but for now, note that that's coming, and it's going to hopefully address some of the criticism we received. Also, we're going to add a world map. And I don't know if we'll ever have maps for the individual levels, but we at least want to do something kind of large scale, where almost like in Mario, where you can select the next level you're going to from a map screen. The reason for doing that, we want to be able to have a non-linear progression where the player can choose between multiple levels and plot their own route across a larger game space. We also want to have more of a narrative context. So one of the criticisms we received is that people felt just a little too lost at the beginning of the game. They didn't know what their purpose was. They didn't know where they were, or what that meant. So we're hoping that by putting this map in place and adding just a little bit of flavor text, we still want it to feel alien and kind of unknown, but we will have enough flavor text on each level that players will have a sense of what that environment is and what its significance is in this greater story. And let's see. Yeah, I talked about Elv already. We're also going to start doing monthly feature votes soon. So we'll probably start these next month, but that's going to hopefully improve quality of life for you early access backers. Every month we're going to put up at least two features that we eventually want to include in the game, sort of just back to back, and you guys get to choose which one we're going to focus on that month. In addition to the other stuff we're working on, obviously this is just one feature, but the plan there is to allow people to prioritize what we're working on in kind of a fun way. We're hoping to galvanize a little bit of community conversation around that, and we'll see how that goes. Just something we're trying out, but I look forward to that. So for example, for some of these features, we might have the first batch of achievements in the game versus in-game leaderboards. Both of those are things that we want to add to the game eventually, but we can let you guys choose where we focus our energy in a given month. New batch of set pieces versus new secret areas. Ambient creature A versus ambient creature B. Versus ambient creature A. Enemy type A versus enemy type B. Control remapping versus more granular settings. All of these are things that we want to add, and we will add eventually, but hopefully that's clear. All right, so now I'm going to show you where level 1 is currently at, and I'll probably record that in a separate video and append it on here.
Well, Demi, your outlier survived, for better or worse. Demi? That force field did a number on you. What were you thinking?
Outlier. Souls.
Never mind that. Shoo, away now. Plenty of time for first contact once you recover. If you recover. Damned foolish girl.